Push record.
There you go.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm so glad to see everybody here. This is our second to last Family Association meeting. I am going to put in the chat a little welcome to everybody. If you're able to, we'd love to know your name, the grade of your student, why did I put in student? The grade of your child that's going to TGS, and your favorite thing about spring break. My name's Jody. I am co-president with Kelly. My kid's a senior this year. My favorite thing about spring break is sleeping in. Sleeping in just a little bit later. Hopefully everybody was able to, yeah, put yours in the chat so we can see who's here. Love to know your name, kiddo, grade of your kiddo, what your favorite thing of spring break is. I'm also going to put in the chat the link to our agenda if you'd like to follow along. There's Desi. Okay. That's the link to our agenda. If anyone wants to follow along. I introduced myself. I'm going to let the rest of the Family Association executive team introduce themselves. I'm not sure if Kelly is here. I see her name. Kelly Rothrock is our vice president, so I will just say that. I think she'll be hopping on and hopping off. But let's
Here
go
she
ahead.
is. She's coming.
Okay, well then you start, Kelly.
Oh, okay. I'm Kelly Voyages. I'm co-president with Jody, and I just entered my answers in the chat. So
Oh
move
yeah.
on.
Your favorite thing is no agenda?
Yeah.
I love it. All right. Okay, Jill or Margaret, are you guys able to hop on and show your face and tell us who you are?
I'm here. I'm Jill Jordan Spitz. I'm secretary of the Family Association. My son is a sophomore, and we've had a really busy couple months, so I'm looking forward to a little less responsibility in the next couple of weeks here.
And I'm Margaret. I am the treasurer this year. I've got a fifth grader who is playing basketball and an eighth grader. And I agree with Jill, well, and Kelly. I'm just looking forward to a break.
Yeah. And Kelly R., you want to introduce yourself? Hop on real quick.
Yeah, I'm Kelly Rothrock, and I have a ninth grader named Zane.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody. I love seeing all the names. Our last meeting that we had in February was our first in-person meeting at the school, and we had a great turnout. So if you were there, give a little thumbs up or something. But we had such a great turnout. It was fun. It really was a testament to how we can do both Zoom and in person, and we can all get it all done. But we had a great turnout. Everyone participated. It was a good conversation. So hopefully you had a chance to review the February meeting minutes. Ooh, I see a thumbs up. We had asked everybody, if you are just joining, we had asked everybody in the chat to list your name and the grade that your child is in and what your favorite thing is about spring break. So if you're seeing that in the chat, that's what that is. And I love reading it. Radical chill time. I love that, Eve. Radical. Yeah, I'm trying to visualize chill time is radical. Okay, so here we go. February meeting minutes. I'm just going to open it up to the group and hear and ask if there were any questions about the meeting minutes, any changes, anything that stood out that anybody wants to bring up. If not, we will look for a motion to approve those minutes. I'm trying to change my view so I can see everybody. There we go. Okay. Yes. Anybody have any questions about it? Was that your hands up for you attended the meeting Lily's iPhone. I see.
Oh, no, I just couldn't enter my information in the chat. I don't know why it said I'm not allowed to chat. So I just thought I'd introduce myself. Lily, my son Miles in 5th grade. Sorry about that.
Thank you. Thanks for introducing
Sure.
you. Yeah, I don't know.
And I'm in
Technology.
the middle of cooking, so I might go off video for a moment here, but listen in.
I love it. That is the best being part of Zoom is we can get stuff done. We did have a brief conversation before everybody came on. Are you having dinner before or after this meeting? So yes, let's get it all done. Okay, I don't see any questions. So if I could have a motion to approve the February meeting minutes.
Is that Sally?
Is it Sally? Thank you.
I just gonna put a thumbs up.
Thank you,
That
Sally.
works.
Motion. Sally, motion to approve.
I second.
Kelly R second. All in favor, do a little thumbs up, a wave. I see it, I see it. Anybody opposed? I'm looking for any opposed. Okay, so passed. All right, we're gonna head quickly to Margaret, who is live at a basketball. Gonna give us a treasurer's report.
That's right. Just a brief report. There's not really that much different than at our last meeting. We our recent big monetary event was the formal dance. And by all accounts, it looks like we actually did pretty well there. We are a little bit in our favor at the end of the day. Which is great because going into our next big event, which is the spring fiesta, we know from last year, we got a lot of feedback that we want to spend more on food this year because we need bigger quantities so that we don't run out like we sort of did last year. So it really works out well from our financial point of view. I think we're in really good stead going into the fiesta and we can have a really good event for everyone.
Yeah, and Margaret, how are we on getting all those reimbursements requests in from all the events? Do we still have some outstanding?
We have one outstanding to my knowledge, but we have a sort of sense of what it is. So in our kind of projections, we can already work with that, but we do have one thing outstanding. Yes.
Okay, all right. If anyone has any outstanding receipts.
Yes, please turn them in.
So we can have a good number. Yeah, we're really trying to be responsible with our funds and use what we can so that we have a great end of year family dinner. So anybody has anything to be reimbursed or knows of anybody who needs to be reimbursed, spread the word.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Margaret. Have fun.
Okay.
I know we'll be in your ear there. So thanks. Okay, the next thing on the agenda is that we have a slate of nominees that we did put on the agenda. Hopefully you've seen that, but this is done every year and it's for the executive committee for next year for the 2024-2025 school year. And I'm just going to tell you the names. Kelly Voyages, who is our co-president right now with me, she's going to be president next year. Vice president is going to be Josie Campbell. Is Josie here today? I didn't see her name normally. Nope, I don't see her. Josie Campbell's going to be our vice president. Jill, who is our current secretary, is going to continue on. Margaret is our current treasurer who just spoke. She's going to continue on as treasurer. And then Tanis Thowen, is that how you say Tanis's last name? Tanis, are you here? Did I butcher it? No, you're not here, Tanis, but I'm not sure if that's how you say
We've
her
been
last
calling
name.
her we've been calling her Thuin for about 8 years, and she hasn't corrected us yet. So
Okay.
we'll go with Thuin.
Thanks, Casey.
Sure.
Well, I just know because I work with her, she's amazing, and we're looking forward to having her as volunteer coordinator. And so we're excited for this executive committee next year. So we've had this out there. Does anybody have any questions about the people that are going to be on the executive committee? I see no questions. So I'd like it to be open. Oh, I see. Eve,
I
yes.
have a quick one.
Yes.
What's the relationship between the executive committee or what do you envision
the relationship between the executive committee and the interim. We're in a transitional space right now. How does the executive committee factor in?
Yeah. Oh, good question. That's a great.
Jody, can I jump in and
please.
just say, I just want to assure everyone that your current executive committee and this slate of officers for next year's executive committee are outstanding. And your current executive committee came to meet with a candidate for the interim head of school position last Friday, so that they had a firsthand opportunity to interact with this candidate. And truly, the executive committee and frankly, the rest of you are an extension of the staff, and they will be critical in helping to smooth the transition with the interim head of school. And as I said to the candidate last week who was visiting, she could not ask, or he, if there was a male candidate, could not ask for a more talented, committed, wonderful group of parent volunteers. So I just have to, sorry, Jody, I just had to put in my 2 cents worth there.
Thank you. No, I love it. And I'll just say, from our point of view, we have the Family Association Executive Committee has a wonderful relationship with the administration and faculty and staff. And this year, we stay in constant communication with Dr. Cheryl and faculty, and that's lovely. So we try to be the middleman and be the eyes and ears and answer questions for parents, try to get parents involved, but I think that'll be especially important next year too with the interim. And we're looking forward to a continued relationship like that, where they're in constant communication and using all of our resources. That's why we have class reps in each grade level to also be our eyes and ears if there are concerns, questions, how we can facilitate this thing we call our community, and then we, how we take care of each other. So I don't see it changing in that manner at all. Thanks for the question, Eve. That's a really good question. Okay, back to the slate of nominees. If there are no other questions, I would like to open it up for a motion to approve. Oh, did you want to say? No, okay, I thought that was a question. Anyone like to make a motion to approve the slate of nominees?
I make a motion.
Is that you, Kelly?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Second.
And Pat, okay, Cece, seconds. Okay, all in favor, give a little thumbs up, a wave. Great. Anybody opposed? Ah, Carla, I like the little animated thumbs up, and I still haven't figured out how to do those quickly. I'm usually too late. Okay, so done. Thank you so much. Okay, next, I just want to say a big thank you. And Kelly, I don't know if you want to speak specifically to what the parent volunteers did. I know you were heavily involved in making that Sign Up Genius, but we had our play Sherlock's Best, and we had a bunch of parents who volunteered to help with that. Do you want to share just a little bit about what they did?
Well, just like in the past, we had folks that were helping at intermission to sell refreshments for donations, and then we had some parents this time also helping at the box office. So we had created a little sign up, kind of stays within the performing arts group of folks, but if anybody's ever interested in helping with something like that, they can always let us know, because we can add you to a list for that. But so we just want to thank everybody who was able to help. And we'll continue to do that as events present themselves and the faculty request the assistance.
Did anybody get to go here to the Sherlock's Best? Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. Okay. I also wanted to, I forgot you at the beginning, but I just want to say congratulations to our basketball team. Pretty amazing. Is anybody here? Is their kid involved on the team or anything? Oh my gosh, couldn't believe it. I even heard word through like the community through other schools. Did you hear the Gregory School? I'm like, yeah, they did. So yay for us. Okay, the next topic is supporting our community with the healthy use of technology. And this, I'm just so excited to hear from Sally. Sally's here to give us just a quick overview, but I just want to say from a family association point of view, how great it is to see parents reaching out to our faculty and staff with an idea, with things that they know would help our other parents. And this is just a prime example of it. They came to the Family Association, Sally did with Jennifer De Benedetti, with this idea of helping our community with all that's happening with technology. And we want to help support them in any way we can. So Sally, I'm going to turn it over to you if you give us a little overview of where this started and where you're headed.
Awesome. Hey, thanks so much. I appreciate that. Okay, so yeah, my name is Sally Strebel, and I'm the mom of Ethan Strebel, and he is in the 6th grade. And I'm also the mom of Evan, and he will be joining us in 5th grade next year. So this is our first year at Gregory, and I'm very happy to be a part of this community. My husband and I, we used to own a tech company, and also at the school that we were at previously, they had a policy of no screens. So when we were looking for a new school, we were kind of looking at all these different schools, and what that was one of our big questions was, how are these schools handling the technology that was happening? And we were really impressed with the Gregory. We spoke with Mr. Hendrickson, and he kind of told us the hardware and everything that was used for the children that were at the school, and we thought it was pretty outstanding. Then the newsletter with the blurbs from the counselors and whatnot, I was really I thought that was very helpful and kind of reminding the children about what's going on. And then also the classes at school and kind of teaching the kids. In fact, at my children's other school, their past school, some of the boys had a text group. And what ended up happening was, at first it was really kind of cute, it was kind of a rite of passage, and they were all practicing their swear words and fun little things like that. And then it kind of turned dark all of a sudden. And what was really cool is that Ethan was able to look at that and say that's cyberbullying. And he would not have really had known that if he hadn't have taken a class at Gregory to be able to call that out. So I was really pleased with that. So then more parents that I had spoken with, I learned that most of the families, they want to make sure that their kids are safe too, but how can they do that at home? And so that's kind of where this kind of grew. I spoke with Stephanie Boyden. She's really into cyber civics. And so we were like, well, let's think about panels. How can we come up with a panel that would be really good? And could we just discuss like the problems that only like shortly, like a 10-minute problem with a 50-minute solution with a tell, show, do base. So problems such as like privacy, what happens like with feelings of lower self-worth, cyberbullying, online predators, phishing scams, all the way down to like malware and being exposed to things that maybe we don't want our children to see. And then also to the solutions, which, I mean, there's so many, of course, like one being aware of the problem, and then also like parental control software, to the hardware, to time management tools, to educational software, I mean, there's just so many things that we can do, even going from each site to teach parents, like, this is how you shut things down. This is how, like, this is what's age appropriate. These are the toggles that you push on to make that happen. So those are like some of the solutions, but then there's also the bigger part to this, which is really kind of growing our community around that. And this could be a series that kind of happens that falls within something like a community that cares, or parents who care, or something along those lines. I don't really know if we've come up with the name quite yet, but really to where like we all have each other's backs, even with this mysterious thing, the internet on the side. And, maybe even planning different outings to where if some of us are together, our kids aren't on their screens. So it's kind of like a little bit of a bigger picture. So From there, the next steps are hopefully, we do have some ideas for speakers. And then really, we just want to see if there's enough interest. And then we want to find a time where the most amount of people can attend. So I think it will come down to a Google form, maybe being introduced to the parents through either their class reps or through the school or whatnot. And then from there, once we figure out the time, getting those speakers in and then honing in on the first panel. So that's kind of it for me. Are there any comments or any questions?
Yeah, so it really sounds like not just presenting concerns, but also providing support to parents on what are the resources to help us manage technology out there and the access our kids have, and helping other parents like navigate, oh my gosh, there's so many choices. Which one do I go with? And what do I do? And how does it work? And really supporting each other through that. Am I right? That sounds like kind of the
You got
direction.
it. Yep.
It's really exciting. And so it's just the beginning stages, right, Sally? You're just looking to see if there's interest there from our community. And so is there a way, should we have people email the FA or you if they're interested in participating in something like this?
Well, really, I think even if we just have 10 people to start, because then those 10 people can tell more people, we can have just bringing in more people to really kind of figure it out. And then even as the internet evolves, so can we, and kind of update that. And of course, like I'm always thinking big picture. So I'm like, it would be cool if we could, I don't know, bundle it into some sort of packaging where different modules and stuff like that. And then I don't know, sell it to other schools and
Oh,
pay for
thinking
our tuition. Just kidding. No,
I love it.
not quite like that, but something along like, because this does not just affect the Gregory School, it affects a lot of other schools. And it's, parents, I really do think want to be empowered. They want to be able to protect their children, but technology seems really scary. But I think that if we all kind of come at it together, it won't be as bad.
Yeah. Well, I already see in the chat lots of appreciation for this and excitement. So
It sounds great.
yeah. I will say too, if we can put the FA's email, if there's someone that's particularly interested in being part of, helping Sally, let us know. Or if you're just interested in attending and hearing more, feel free to reach out. But we'll definitely be helping, the FA will definitely be helping to promote whatever's going to happen in the future. So any questions?
Is there any, I'm just wondering if there's any, Sally, thank you so much. I can't think of a single parent who's not going to be just chomping at the bit to just be part of this community. So thank you. Is there any budget for speaker fees or just honorariums? If we're in the shadows of U of A. I'm sure there's some great information folks there, but if we wind up finding somebody really great that's willing to come and speak, do we have budget for that kind of thing?
Well, I know, Sally, I'll just jump in. I remember from our meeting with Jennifer De Benedetti, there were resources the school has that they used as part of their professional development with their staff that they're going to tap into for sure. And also, I think as the programs develop, it's one of those things too, that the Family Association works with parents because we are given a budget from the school that we work with whatever's going to happen in the next year. So that the new executive committee is going to be looking at what are all the efforts next year. And if this begins to develop into something bigger, like Sally's describing, then the school, the Family Association all works together to see, if that's something that is possible with money. But I think to begin with, I know they already have resources that they want to tap into that they've said they know that they were willing to work with parents. And I can't remember the name. I don't know if you know Dr. Cheryl, but I just remember one of the school counselors was at blanking. But anyway, I don't remember. Eve. But we're on it.
Well, of course, I'm thinking this is the exact kind of thing that the annual fund helps us to support. And at the risk of sounding like a broken record, because I'm singing to the choir right now, the reason that we raise money for the annual fund is so that we can support these kinds of initiatives. We can pay for supplies for the fabrication lab. We can offset the cost of this amazing entrepreneurial program that we happen to have in the upper school. We can supplement some of the materials that Mr. Clashman and Ms. Heald need for the farmyard and the community garden. And so, we is us, Jody. And so, if we want to support this program, then it's really helpful that those of you who are advocates for the school share with other parents. This is the reason why the school asks for the annual fund. It all goes right back into your children and to all of us. So there, I'll get off my soapbox.
It was very appropriate soapbox. I love it.
And I will say that I am hoping that we can really keep the costs down. In fact, I'm hoping that it will be almost, nil is kind of the goal. I think that we can probably get pretty creative with it.
Great.
And I also see, Jody, that Stephanie, at least I thought I saw her here a minute ago. Oop, now
I'm on here.
Boyden. So I just want to say thank you to both Stephanie, and to Sally for this amazing work. We are really grateful. I know Jennifer De Benedetti has been very impressed with all of your support and your expertise. So thank you.
Yes, that's right. Thank you. There's Stephanie. Yeah. And Amanda said in the chat too, she would love this, love advice on how to restrict the bad stuff while allowing the necessary stuff. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, well, we're going to move on to the next thing, and I'm going to jump in real quick here. I'm going to turn it over to our next update. I am going to let you know that I am going to hop off. I have a personal matter to attend to, and Kelly, our other co-president, is going to take it from here. But I just want to say briefly before I go that Christina Grossman is amazing. She is here. She is stepped up to be our homecoming chairperson next year. She's been working closely with Kelly Rothrock, our previous chairperson, and just had a meeting. And we are just so grateful and impressed already with her organizational skills and putting it all together. So we are going to hear from her. We recently had a meeting on March 12th that we advertised anybody could come, and we had several parents. And Stephanie, you were there. I see you, Stephanie. And so she's here to give us an update, and I will also turn it over to Kelly as well. So you have the floor, Christina.
Thank you, Jody. And I do want to say that with Kelly Rothrock running this for 3 years, just made it so simple to ease into the planning and so forth. And it was just a wonderful meeting with administration, the Family Association, and I already have some parent volunteers, and we haven't even started the new school year for homecoming. So before I go with some dates, I just want to say that I am really excited about homecoming. This is a way to bring the community in, and we're looking forward to having parents and, our children who are attending, the Gregory School and their siblings of all ages to come in and just have fun. Our teachers, staff, everyone, just to come in and celebrate. And from what is understood, this is not a fundraiser for the Family Association. We do have a budget. However, it's really important that our club booths and our student organizations are able to collect tickets, that it's their own fundraiser. Is that safe to say, Kelly?
Yes, I would say that is accurate.
Right. And so it's really important to have a great turnout. We discussed food. So we have our sweet and savory already set. We have an abundance of resources to look into, to reach out for food trucks. And we're also have an abundance of ideas that came in for the activities. The area that I have said over at the meeting, we had a meeting in March 12th, is the decorating, the setup, the cleanup. We have Spirit Week and so forth. So please be on the lookout starting in July, August, for communication being sent out. And we will have signups. And I'm looking forward to working with everyone and just having an amazing turnout. So with Spirit Week, the date of events that we have Spirit Week for September 23rd through the 27th. We have the festival, the Homecoming Festival, that is September 27th. And we have the homecoming dance date for September 28th. So it's coming early in the fall, which is going to be wonderful because I think it's going to be a great climate to be outside. I'm hoping that the climate and the weather and everything is going to be a great turnout. So we're looking forward to that. We're going to have, it's a collaboration with athletics, with student council, with the family association and everyone with administration. And so I think that because of how everyone has been extremely organized over the years, it has really made it so easy that I can just come in and just move forward with this. And we've already had meetings and communication even now. So I'm looking forward to giving an update when we start the new school year.
Great, thank you. And just to reiterate that, there's a lot of planning that goes into homecoming and a lot of it that has to happen early, even in the spring prior to the year start. So it might seem a little early that you're hearing about this, but because the homecoming date is a little bit earlier this year and the planning that has to go into the spring, don't be surprised if you are going to continue hearing about this a little bit earlier this time around. So thank you very much, Christina. And of course, we'll keep people updated with signups.
Thank you.
Thanks. So next on the agenda is just a quick note about the volunteer appreciation breakfast that we've got scheduled for April 24th. We will have more details coming, so that's really just a heads up and save the date for folks who have been volunteering throughout the year. We want to appreciate you, and so we'll be having a breakfast on April 24th. If anybody has questions or anything, feel free to let me know, but we don't have any details other than that right now, so it's just a quick save the date for you folks. And the Spring Family Dinner, which has been called the Spring Fiesta in the past, may continue that way. Might just be called the Spring Family Dinner, but that is also coming up on May 9th. There will be more information coming out about that very soon as well. Typically, that's also the arts showcase. So we'll have some other events going on in addition to the dinner, and that's usually followed by the dance performances. So it'll be similar to previous years, and we'll get more details out to you very soon. We've got a meeting with the committee tomorrow, so we'll be getting planning going for that. And if anybody is interested in helping out with that, feel free to reach out. We've got our email in the chat, so you can always email about anything you're interested in, any questions you have. Any questions on those right now? All right. Well, I think now I am going to be handing it over to Cece. Cece Alter is with the Board of Trustees. I see that Casey is also here, so I will let you guys decide who's going to talk about which pieces, but I'm going to hand it off to you first, Cece, and let you jump in if you will.
Thanks, Kelly. I'm actually going to hand it off to Casey to talk about advancement first and the annual fund.
Thank you. So I wanted to let folks know, I know we see in the Friday newsletter, there's a tally and kind of a heat map discussing where we are in the annual fund. And as of last week, we are tipped over just over $140,000 towards our annual goal of $200,000. And, from where have we been in the past and where are we going in the future, I think we're in fairly good standing. But a lot of the things that have reaped benefit to us in the past have already taken place. And so one of the things that I had mentioned when I was there physically with you all last month was this team and this group of people is the right contingent to understand what messaging resonates, what messaging doesn't resonate. And also it's a group of people who have different perspectives and different experiences. And so one of the things that we had discussed was entertaining and asking for participation from the FA for people that were available to join us on the Advancement Committee. And so I have shared the calendar of events, that we have 2 more events scheduled. Kelly has the events. If anyone is interested, we can have you added to the invite. Kelly did not necessarily ask, but she will be courtesy copied on the next 2 in case she can support just in preparation or, finishing at the balance of the year and also in preparation for the next school year. Again, in light of where we are towards the goal, I think it's important, again, to know that our goal and aspiration, as we discussed last month, is recognize that this is an additional challenge and or burden for some of our parents. And so though our current primary population of contributors are faculty, staff, grandparents, alumni, it's primarily the families. And so, understanding what resonates from a messaging perspective and what doesn't is something that's going to be interesting for us in the future. I quipped a little bit last time that I think we had increased our alumni participation by 550%, which meant we had gotten, I think, 8 to participate. It was a low number, but I can tell you at this point in time, we've got another half dozen or so that are on our thank you list. So again, it's a large population that is, as of yet, maybe not fully tapped, but we are starting to make inroads. And so just wanted to let folks know we continue to aspire to fill that from a budgetary perspective. But that budgetary perspective is really critical because it affords the budget for the FA and homecoming and some of these initiatives that we're looking forward to in the future. And our committee's pretty small. And so if people are interested and have the time, we would definitively love for others to join to help kind of increase the creative juices. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Casey. I actually put the next 2 advancement committee meetings in the chat. So if anybody would like to join, you just need to let us know and we can get an invitation sent out to you. The other thing that I think I'm on the agenda for is to give a quick update on the head of school search. And as you heard Dr. Cheryl say earlier, we did have a candidate came to visit us last week. And there's been a lot of activity going on behind the scenes that you may not be aware of. But the board and the committee have been hard at work trying to vet different individuals and talk with folks about what their expectations are. And we believe we are close to having an announcement for you. I can't give you anything definitive right now, but there's some things still happening this week. And we're hoping that our board president will be able to send a message to the community with a full update very soon. So as vague as that is, we'd like to thank all of you for your interest, your continued interest in this search process. It is very important to all of us, and we appreciate the input that we've gotten from all of you as family members and parents and concerned community members. And of course, your executive committee was able to participate last Friday, and they'll continue to stay in the loop with this process as well. The last thing that I have to add about the head of school search is that while we are still hoping to make an announcement about an interim, the board also has taken on the task of starting the process for the permanent search, which will be getting underway probably in the next month or 2. So you'll be hearing more and more from us as we move along in that process as well. Are there any questions or anything else?
I had a question. So the search for the permanent head of school is going to start up, it sounds like maybe in the summer-ish, or is that?
Yes, we are actually hoping to convene our committee and, in whatever form that looks like, probably in April. What we found last year is that we were just a little bit behind the timeline for other schools who were searching. So we wanted to get a little bit of an earlier start this time.
So that sort of answers my next question, which is, are you doing anything differently since the first search didn't end up with a candidate?
Yeah, we are discussing what the process is going to be. It does look like we're going to do some things differently. We're talking about a lot of different options right now. And as soon as we are ready to kick everything off, we'll let you guys know what that's going to look like. Eve, did you have a question? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Cece. Always leaving wanting more, right? All right, thank you very much. And now
Kelly?
I would like to. Oh, did you have a question, Desi?
Yeah, just before Dr. Cheryl says anything, I just wanted to ask if there was any possibility. So I'm part of the senior night committee that's preparing for the seniors after they graduate. And we are going to be looking for chaperones they're going to be 3 separate locations for these chaperones. We can't as yet, just as you know, is the way. No one has disclosure of where these places are. But please, can you kind of send the message out to the network? We're looking for 6 chaperones. I did it last year. It's really actually quite fun. It's great to be a part of it. This is a great group of seniors. The places that we've chosen are really fun. And we're really hoping that we get some support from everyone so that it can be a great and safe night. So I just wanted to ask if everyone can spread the word and we can try and get some assistance.
Okay, great. Yes, please share it with everybody that you know. I think I saw an email about that recently. So I'm sure you guys will be sending out some more emails and maybe even putting that in the newsletter, you think?
We want to try and get it sorted out as soon as possible because we also want to try and get like maybe a little bit extra because last year they had some problems with people like falling away at the last minute.
Okay.
So we want to just try and get a bit of backup just in case. But we will be sending more emails out. It's just like a lot of emails for people. We think that people are kind of aren't looking at all the emails because we're sending so many out. But we will put it in the newsletter as well. But if you can just spread the word to your network, try to sign up for it. It's really a fun thing and it's great for our seniors.
Great. Thanks for sharing that. All right. Anybody else with questions before we hand it over to Dr. Cheryl? All right.
I'll just say, having done a senior night at a different school, a targeted email to the junior parents is really helpful because they're doing this next year, maybe junior and sophomore, but for sure the junior parents, because that sort of alerts them to it's coming, and you also tend to get a lot more volunteers. So just a recommendation.
Great. Thank you very much. All right, Dr. Cheryl, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thanks, Kelly. Just a little clarification too, because I know some of you were very engaged and involved in the visit we had last fall with a candidate. The board decided that because this was an interim position, that we weren't going to roll out the extensive kind of visit that we did for the permanent position. But I just want to assure you, we had a number of different constituencies, not the least of which was your Family Association Executive Committee. And frankly, the highlight for the candidate was lunch with our students. And so, Desi mentioned that we have a wonderful senior class. 1 or 2 of them actually stopped by to meet the candidate, but primarily we had the candidate meet with underclassmen. And then the candidate was also able to meet some students organically on the middle school campus when we provided a tour. But the candidate did say the highlight of the day was interacting with the students and was incredibly impressed, and what an honor it would be to be able to work with these young people. So again, just my way of, again, thanking all of you for sending us your amazing children. It is an absolute pleasure to work with them each and every day. You will see in tomorrow's newsletter that there are additional recognitions, kudos that students are bringing to us. You've probably already seen that we have 6 national merit finalists this year, which is actually quite exceptional for the size of the senior class that we have. It amounts to just a little bit over 12% of our graduating class as national merit scholars. And when you compare that to the percentages of seniors in the entire country, it's truly remarkable. In that vein, we have an annual tradition of we invite students that are in the senior class to express an interest in participating in the graduation ceremony, whether that's as a performer, a singer, or a speaker. And I have already, and I like myself to facilitate that process just because it's my opportunity to work with the senior class before commencement. I already have 7 of our seniors that want to speak at commencement. So I assure you, we're not going to have 7 full-blown speeches. We'll figure out a creative way to do this. But again, it's indicative of the engagement of our kids and how they want to be a part of just about everything they can be a part of at school. Speaking of engagement, my primary message for all of you tonight is having to do with our wellness days that are coming up next week. I want all of you to know that Angela Earnhardt just sent emails to every student. So a great conversation for you to have with your child would be, and I'll pick on you, okay, Cece, Simon. Did you happen to see the email that Coach Earnhardt sent out to all of you about wellness days? The reason we sent it to the students is, well, actually, it's a little bit more for simplicity, to tell you the truth, because part of what we sent to the students is reminder they have to have your permission. They have to have their parent or guardian permission to participate in some of next week's activities. So I am just asking you, Kelly, if there's any way that the FA can even send out a separate like reminder to parents to take, talk to your students about the wellness days. And don't forget your permission slips. We will be having sandwich board signs reminding everybody next week when you drop your child off or pick them up, have you turned in your permission? Because if we don't have the permission forms, they cannot go do their service projects on Wednesday. And again, a summary of the wellness days, it's all mission driven relative to the school. Wednesday is really going to focus on service to the community and then some team building in the afternoon among the students. Thursday, we are having an incredible lineup of speakers with varying expertise and all types of topics related to the concept of wellness. And students are getting to sign up and choose some of those speakers. Others, it's age dependent. And of course, we learned our lessons, right, with human growth and development. So we are being very careful and selective about all of that. And then on Friday, the advisories are going to have an afternoon activity that is also team building in nature. Both Sandra Krause and Angela Earnhardt have provided the primary leadership for the planning and execution of these 3 days. So if you have specific questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to either Coach Earnhardt or to Sandra Krause. And again, they have the email. Kelly, could you put that email, their emails maybe in the chat? So it's S. Krause, Kraus, and Angela Earnhardt at gregoryschool.org. Do you have any questions from me at this point about wellness that I might be able to bring some additional clarity this evening?
Did we get a sign-up sheet sent home? And if our kids are 18, do we have to still sign?
Actually, you do still have to sign, Desi, because it's during the course of the school day and we are transporting them. That's the main reason, is because we're transporting them to service projects all over the city on Wednesday.
Were they sent home? I just don't recall seeing it, or was it emailed or?
No, what we've been trying to do is to have all of the sign up process and the conversations and explaining to the students about what the wellness days in their advisory. So it's really their advisor. So that's the other source of information that you can tap into. So if you have questions, isn't Dan? Okay, so, Dan would have answers to maybe what Adon signed up for wellness. other questions about the wellness days? And again, this is part of an experiment. You know, we'll learn from it. We've learned from other schools that do these concentrated experiences with the entire student body. And in my mind, part of the biggest benefit is that there's cross grade level team building built into these 3 days, not to mention the service component, which I think is so critically important for our students to have a better understanding of the needs of Tucson and how other people are living and how other nonprofits, you know, and why they've been put together. So we're really excited about the lineup for next week. The only other update I have really for you at this point in time is just to say thank you for your continued support. These family association meetings, when I look at the screen, here are the main event supporters of the school. You care enough to carve out a little bit of your time this evening. And if in particular, if you're a grade level leader, we are really grateful for the communications that you take responsibility for your grade level. And I know Jennifer and Michelle in particular appreciate heads up sometimes that our grade level representatives may give to one of them to say, you know, Jennifer, I think there's something going on in 6th grade relative to a social media issue, or, you know, something, you know, we've had a grade level rep say to Michelle, I'm hearing some rumbles about something that might be brought to the dance this, you know, this Saturday night. But I have to say, and again, knock on wood, our kids are great, and seldom do we have any issues with our dances. So that's the good news in all of that. Any questions? Is there something in the chat? I think we're good.
I think so too. And please note the emails that I put in there, CC corrected the one for Sandra Kraus. You need to add a 2 on the end of the Kraus because the first one is for Steve, who's also here, her husband. So if you're going to email, make sure you add the 2. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Cheryl.
Absolutely. Kelly, by the way, and I always like to have this group have access. I mean, part of the benefit of participating is to have early access to information. In April, at the April Family Association, is there, right? There's an April meeting?
There is. That's our last agenda item. It's April 11th, actually.
That might be too early. I was going to say at the April meeting, I will be happy to share with you any particular changes that we see that might be happening relative to any teacher retirements or, you know, anything like that. I'll have to check with that. We have one colleague that we know is going to be retiring, but I do not have permission to share that information. But we will definitely, you know, provide our families with those updates in April.
So. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Well, and since we already announced that, April 11th is our last meeting for the year. So I want to thank you guys for coming tonight. That'll be our last official meeting for the year. And then don't forget, we'll also be having that volunteer breakfast on the 24th of April and our spring family dinner on May 9th. So if anybody has any questions about anything that went on tonight, feel free to email us. We will also be posting this recording as well as the minutes on the website. Any last comments or questions that anybody needs to make?
Sorry, Kelly, I just wanted to just alert you, the volunteer breakfast is on Passover. So I just think the school needs to be just a little bit more sensitive about putting those kinds of events on days where Jewish families just can't participate. So I won't be there. I would love to come, but unfortunately I'll be in synagogue.
Okay, thank you, Desi. Well, and we can have a conversation with Dr. Cheryl about that if we need to.
Desi, I am sorry. I don't know why we didn't see that on the calendar because that is on the school calendar when we took a look at that. So we'll just look at another date. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for bringing that up, Desi. Appreciate it. And then we have one comment. Amanda, you wanted to say something about Odyssey of the Mind.
Yeah, I just wanted to chime in really quick. We had the regional competition just a couple weeks ago, and all 4 teams made it to the state competition, which is amazing and awesome. And they all did an incredible job. Ms. Bialis is just organizing and doing fantastic things. We are now getting ready for the state competition, which is the 30th of March. So coming right up. And at that one, there may be teams going to the world competition, which is in Iowa in May. So I'm thrilled that the teams are doing so well. Thank you again to the Parent Association for helping to create this and bring it into being the Gregory School this year, and it's coming out as a success. Just wanted to report the good news.
Great. Thank you so much. And thank you to you, Amanda, because you are the one who brought that to the Family Association as a passion project. So a parent passion project, which I believe we have a deadline of the end of March 31st. If there are any folks out there with parent passion project ideas that they wanted to come to us, because that is how Odyssey of the Mind came to the Gregory School last year.
Yeah, it works. do your passion project. It works. Thank you so much, everybody. And that's really exciting. The kids are doing great. Ms. Biles is doing great, which is fantastic because I unfortunately had a sharp increase in the need of 3 of 4 of my husband's and my parents that I've needed to be pulled away for that a lot. And so I'm so thrilled that she is really doing all of the coaching and organizing, and she's fantastic. So, but thank you.
Thanks, Amanda. Appreciate the update. All right. Anything else?
I just wanted to say something. So with the wellness days, which I'm super excited about, those one of the speakers I know a little bit from the U of A, Lisa McDonald, who is a nutritionist. She's amazing. If your child's sort of choosing, I'm not quite sure how much choice they have, and you think they might need this, I highly recommend her as one of the speakers. So I can't remember exactly how it's going to work, but she's really wonderful. So thank you for having that happen and bringing in people like that.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
Thanks for highlighting that.
Talk to your children. Yeah, I said students too. Talk to your children.
All right, great. Well, thank you so much for showing up tonight. We'll keep you updated with the change on the date for that volunteer appreciation breakfast, and just keep watching for more information from us, as always. Good night.
Thanks, everybody.